Sumo's history stretches back about 1,500 years, with roots in a religious ritual conducted in Shinto shrines along with prayers for abundant harvests. The early sport was rougher than its modern version, involving boxing and wrestling elements. Professional sumo groups began to appear in the early 17th century. Popularly regarded as Japan's national sport, sumo pits two giant wrestlers, clad only in loincloths, against each other in a test of brawn and skill inside a ring floored with clay and edged with straw bales. Victory is achieved when one wrestler either pushes his opponent out of the ring, or topples him. Tradition forbids women from entering the ring on grounds that the presence would defile the sacred space. Each bout commences with purifying rituals in which the wrestlers, their long, oiled hair done up in stylized knots, rinse their mouths with water and toss salt in the air. Opponents can spend several minutes squaring off, squatting with fists touching the ground, scowling and stamping, but a match itself can be over in seconds. Hearty eating is an important element of being a sumo wrestler, and most of those in the top class weigh 150 kilograms, 330 pounds, or more. There are no separate weight classes, so relatively lightweight wrestlers compete against heavier rivals. Nearly 700 wrestlers are registered with the Japan Sumo Association, the sport's governing body. Divided broadly into 9 ranks, wrestlers are promoted or demoted depending on their performance during the year's 6 grand tournaments. The sumo world is strictly hierarchical. Wrestlers belong to one of around 50 stables, and salaries and status depend on their rank. Only those in the top 5 classes can marry and receive regular salaries. For instance, a yokozuna makes 2.8 million yen or $34,000 per month. The JSA, which has an annual budget of around 11 billion yen, obtains its main chunk of income from sales of sumo tournament tickets and TV rights to public broadcaster NHK, estimated to be around 3 billion yen per year, according to the Asahi newspaper. As a public interest group, the JSA enjoys a lower tax rate, but the government has threatened to take away this status. Sumo's popularity has declined over the years as other professional sports such as soccer attracted fans and the number of Japan-born stars declined. Not only has the sport's fan base shrunk, but the number of professional wrestlers has fallen from around 800 a decade ago to about 700 at present. The sport has been hit by a series of scandals. In 2009, a former sumo stable head was sentenced to 6 years in prison after a 17-year-old trainee wrestler died from hazing. A number of wrestlers have been kicked out of the sport for possessing marijuana in recent years. Former yokozuna Asashoyu, a Mongolian, quit last year following accusations that he had broken a man's nose in a drunken brawl outside a Tokyo nightclub. In the past, most sumo matches completely sold out. Now there are often empty seats and people don't wait in line as long for tickets like they used. In 1995, baseball surpassed sumo as Japan's #1 sport. By 2004, sumo was 5th behind pro baseball, marathon running, high school baseball and pro soccer, and stables were closing because they were unable to attract new talent. Many television viewers prefer K1 kickboxing to sumo. Japanese purists don't like the fact the sport has been taken over by foreign wrestlers. The number of foreign-born wrestlers, especially in the top classes, has risen in recent years as fewer Japanese are attracted to the sport and its harsh conditions, including tough training and being forced to live a communal lifestyle with little privacy. The pioneer was American Jesse Kuhaulua, who entered the sumo world in 1964 and fought under the name Takamiyama, opening the way for fellow Hawaiians in a wave of foreigners in the 1980s. Young Japanese boys are not interested in trying out for the sport. At one tryout on the mid-1990s, only 2 boys showed up, the lowest number since records started being kept in 1936. In 2007, none came. Those that joining quickly quit. One stable master told Azumo, "Stable life is group life. Youngsters today take time to fit into such a place. On two respects that quickly dropped out, he said both of them were rather withdraw, so it was especially hard for them. But I was shocked they left as quickly as they did. Today, sumo is still a popular sport in Japan, but because of the aging population, it is slowly deteriorating. Thank you for watching, and as always, please support the channel by giving us a thumbs up and sharing this video. We will see you on the next one.